If you have found it difficult to take images of glass or other kinds of shiny objects, you're not alone. These kinds of objects can seem challenging, but I have some easy things that you can try no matter what kind of photography experience you have. But first, the basics. Different kinds of surfaces require different types of lighting. Shiny surfaces should be lit indirectly by lighting things they reflect. Like looking in a mirror, clear glass and liquids look best with the light coming through it. That's how you see the color and the volume of the object. And finally, opaque solid objects are lit with direct lighting. These are three distinct types of lighting, but when you have an object like this pickle jar, you have all three kinds of surfaces. So what do? It depends on the tools that you have and the time that you want to spend on the images. But let's start by assuming that all you have is an iPhone and no artificial lighting. A simple way of capturing under those circumstances is to go outside on a sunny day or into an unlit room where you have a window that has direct sunlight coming in. Place the jar in front of the window with the sun at its back. Now use a white piece of poster board to bounce some of that direct sunlight that's coming in the window back at the face of the jar. This setup lets the sun backlight the jar for the clear glass. The reflection of the white poster board creates a pleasant reflection in the shiny surface of the glass, and it shows some of the contours of that jar. But the light bouncing off of that white card illuminates the pickles inside of the jar from the front. Now let's say you don't have direct sunlight. Perhaps it's an overcast day. In that situation, the jar would still go in front of the window and you set up the white foam core in the same way, but because you don't have that direct sunlight coming in, not much is happening in front of the jar. You will need to add your own lighting. You will need to use a light source with a daylight bulb in it so that your artificial light has roughly the same color as the scene outside. And then you want to arrange your light so that it is illuminating that white foam board, but not the jar. You don't want any direct light from your light source on the jar so that you don't see the reflection of the light itself. You want to illuminate that board and then just angle it until the reflection looks nice and the pickles are illuminated so that you get something like this. Now for this last demonstration, I'm going to be using my lighting invention, Halumin. Halumin can be powered by 2 lights, but for this demo, I'm only going to be using 1. Halumin is the solution for when you photograph lots of different types of small subjects, but you need consistency. Halumin creates a variable lighting environment where the lighting gets softer as you move your subject away from the camera, and the lighting gets harder and more texture enhancing as you move your subject closer to the camera. For this example, we are placing the subject at an angle in front of Halumin so that its light can both backlight the jar and edge light the shiny surface of the glass. We're also placing these blackout strips on the side of Halumin that's on the far side of the glass, so it cuts that light down a little bit on the brighter side of the Halumin since we're only using 1 light source.